Hey, I heard you missed me. I'm back. Hi, everybody. It's the real Becky, Beckymoon from BNF Entertainment. I am a professional singer, musician, DJ, MC, agent here in Southern California. And today I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm trying my hardest to post on a daily basis, and I'm failing on a daily basis to post every day. Unedited, unscripted, just me. And I'm not too worried about it because I don't have that many followers or subscribers. So, anybody that's interested, maybe they'll take a listen and learn something from my experience. But I'm going to be honest, today I just did a video and I tried to talk myself through it, and I've just been very tongue tied. So, today you're going to get the tongue tied, real life version of me. This is take two. And I'll just use this take no matter what. So, what I really want to talk about today is I was speaking with a friend of mine. He is a professional musician in Southern California. He actually helps manage one of the high end, very popular booking agencies who has a number of bands and projects that they represent and send out, and they're extraordinary. Like, I love them. It's a great example. I'm not going to name them, but I'm just going to talk about one of, a very experienced, very talented, high end agency. And he's one of the number one guys for the agency. So that's the guy that I'm talking about. He's a good friend of mine and we love to chat. And I asked him, what do you want to do this year? And he said he wanted to improve his performance. And I asked him, what three aspects of your performance would you like to improve? And one of the things, the first one that he had mentioned was his stamina. So today's little talk is going to be about stamina. And then the other two topics I'm going to address later. And one of the other two topics was eye contact and connection with people, which is my favorite topic. And then, and then how to get the dance floor and how to get the party started. So I love those topics. I love that challenge. And it's something that I feel like I'm like one of those people that does it really well. I know that's kind of braggy, but it is one of the reasons I think I get hired frequently. And the expectation is that I bring the party with me. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the topic of stamina. So the stamina for a vocalist. Let's just talk about vocalists because the stamina for a horn player might be different than a drummer. But I'm going to talk about performance as a vocalist. First of all, your whole body is engaged, right? Your vocalist, your instrument is part of the human anatomy and you must take care of it. So, but long before the stamina or the gig happens, I'm doing, and I recommend you do many things. First thing is we must sleep. Singers must have adequate rest. So if you're not monitoring your sleep and making sure you get 8 hours, which is ideal, I think, but really, I recommend that you prioritize a regular sleep schedule, which is nearly impossible for singers and performers because our schedules are really bizarre. One day we might have to be up at 8 o'clock for a church service, and the next day we're getting home at 5 a.m. from a casino gig, all right, or some gig, right? Or we're traveling and we're getting off an airplane and then we're having 2 hours of rest and then we have to perform. So, but if you make a beginning of prioritizing your sleep, your performance is going to be, and your stamina is going to be 100% better. Secondly, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Now, truth, I have an issue. I am addicted to caffeine and to energy drinks. And I never thought in my life that I would ever have an addiction to those things because I, as a former athletic coach and trainer, I would preach and tell everyone there is no energy drinks on our swim deck. There's no energy drinks in our gym. I don't want to see any of that. It must be natural energy. And here I am years later, and I am using energy drinks. Here's what they do. They dehydrate me. They dehydrate my voice. They cause acid reflux. They have impacted me, and I somehow need to let them go, but I Haven't yet. I'm just being honest with you guys. With that said, hydration. So, hydration starts long before the performance day. It starts several days before the performance day. So, I'm aware of that all week long. Say if I have a Friday and Saturday, I'm hydrating all week long. If I have a week that's going to be like Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, two performances on Saturday and two performances on Sundays, a week like that, my hydration becomes absolutely at the top of the priority list: sleep and hydration. Otherwise, my voice is not going to last and have the duration that it's going to need to cover all of those performances. So, we're talking about stamina, about the voice. Now, the second part of that stamina is your physical energy and your performance. So, if you guys know me or if you've seen me perform, you know that I am one of those performers that I really like to go all out. I like to go out all out physically, even though I have some limitations. As you know, I have a total knee replacement and I only have about 110-degree angle, bend, whatever the word is, right? I'm limited on like getting down on my knees and laying down on my back. I'm getting up and off the floor, but you will see I will get down on my knees and I will get up and off the floor. Even as awkward as it might be, I will go all out. But the stamina comes from like anything, any exercise or any physical activity. It comes by regular practice. But here's what it looks like for somebody like me. It's like I do nothing for 3 days, and then all of a sudden I have 4 days packed with shows back to back. And a show might last 5 hours, meaning like if I'm doing a casino or a nightclub gig, it's 40 minutes on, 20 minutes off, or 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off for 4 or 5 hours. I'm looking at almost 3.5 hours of low and high combination impact aerobics cardio while I sing and perform and move and dance and sidestep and smile. Like it's not just a cardio thing. I'm working on smiling. I'm working on singing. It requires a tremendous amount of energy and stamina. And so managing that, if you're only performing once a month, right? You need to have activities that are equivalent to what your performance is, your performance style, on a regular basis, at least 2 to 3 times a week. Like if you wanted to be a cyclist, right? If you wanted to cycle better, you would be doing that exercise 3 to 4 times a week for 30 minutes to 60 minutes. If your performance time is like me, I'm doing total time minus the breaks 3.5 hours, and sometimes I'm doing it 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Sometimes I'm performing literally 2 shows in a day, and I'm doing 6 to 7 hours of cardiovascular, muscular, and all my voicing and my breathing. Double shows back to back, I'm doing 6 or 7 hours in a day, on top of the 3 or 4 days of 3.5 hours. So it requires a lot of energy. So it's the hydration that becomes important. It's having adequate protein for giving me the energy. And I do want to tell you that I do keep not energy drinks, protein drinks. I try to cut back on sugar, so I don't eat a lot of sugar. I'm pre-diabetic, and so I use sugar-free products, or I look for products that have no sugar. But I do drink and keep with me on a daily basis, especially when I'm performing, because I don't always like to eat and have a full stomach when I'm performing. I will have a protein shake, and that will give me the nutrition and the energy and the protein to have adequate energy. I also carry with me protein bars. So I'm on the road a lot, and I don't want to count on fast food and restaurant food for my energy. So I keep with me almost always, like literally, if I leave my house, I have a bag of food And in part of that bag of food is protein bars and protein shakes, sugar-free if possible, because I can't sing on a full stomach, but I need to have the nutrition to give me the energy. Wow, this is a really long one. I just hope that you got something out of it. The last thing I want to say about stamina is take a look at your week and what your performance schedule is. And you need to be performing 3 or 4 times a week for a minimum of 30 to 60 minutes. So if you don't have a show schedule that requires that, and maybe you're only doing 1 show or 2 shows a month, you have to create your environment so that you are practicing that much, that frequently. 4 hours a week for a professional musician is nothing, right? We're talking practicing an hour, if it's your full-time job, literally spending at least 20% of your time practicing your craft, which means singing and moving and dancing, is reasonable training to keep up your stamina for performance time. And then, those one-offs, like I'm singing the national anthem, or I'm singing one song at a funeral, or like those kinds of things. They're very difficult for me because I perform my best after about 20, 30 minutes of warm up. And then I'm like, my game is on. So how do I do that when I've been sitting for 45 minutes or waiting to the end of the service for my one song? So that I'm going to tell you the tricks for that on another talk. So, wow. I really got to sum this up and find a way to be shorter. I can't imagine anybody sticking around to the end of this video, but if you did, please put it in your comments. Please put your suggestions in the comments. I'm open to your criticism and your encouragement. And to my friend that I had a conversation with today, I love you. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk soon.